Right now, on your arms, there are muscles standing by to lift the coat you do not have. They fire when you are cold. They fire when you are frightened. They achieve nothing at all. Your body never got the message. So when did the coat go? And why did nobody tell the machinery? Hair does not fossilize. Neither does skin, or fur, or cloth. Nothing from that moment survives. And yet we have dates. 2 of them. Both came from something that is still alive today. Before we get there, something you believe about your own body has to go. Humans never lost their hair. And for 3 million years we had no clothes either. Start with something you can check on yourself in the next 10 seconds. Hold your forearm up to a lamp and turn it slowly until the light rakes across it. There they are. Hundreds of them. Short, pale, almost invisible, but hairs all the same. Now count the hair follicles in a chimpanzee's skin, then count your own. The 2 numbers come out about the same, roughly 5 million each. So what exactly did you lose? Nothing. Every follicle is still there. What changed is what comes out of them. Thick dark hair became short, colorless thread. The factory kept running, quietly. You are not a bald ape. You are an ape wearing an invisible coat. Evolution did not tear the machinery out. It reached over and turned the dial down. Which leaves the hard part. When? Hair does not fossilize. Neither does skin. Neither does leather or fur or cloth. Bones are almost all the ground ever gives back, and bones say nothing about hair. For a century, this looked like a question that could never be answered. Then a graduate student in Leipzig started collecting lice in small glass jars. Ask the lice. Do not laugh. Of everything alive at that moment, they were the only ones keeping records. 3 different species of louse live on human beings. 3, not 1. And they do not visit each other. Each one stays inside its own territory. The head louse grips the hairs on your scalp and never leaves them. The pubic louse lives in coarse body hair, and it is a separate species entirely. The third one is the strange one. The body louse does not live on your body. It lives in your clothing. It crawls out to feed, then goes straight back into the seam. No clothes, no body louse. Ever. Which makes it a clock, and that clock has been running since. So how do you read a clock made out of insects? Every species carries its own DNA, and DNA picks up small changes at a steady rate. Count the differences between 2 related species, and you get the date they split apart. Ralph Kittler and Mark Stoneking did exactly that with head lice and body lice in 2003. The moment those 2 split is the moment clothing appeared, because that is when the new home opened. 170,000 years ago. Younger than our own species, barely older than the first cave paintings. Now run the same trick on the second louse, and the whole picture tilts. The pubic louse is not a close relative of your head louse at all. Its nearest living relative is not on a human being anywhere. It is on gorillas. David Reed and his colleagues dated that split too, and the number is nowhere near. 3 million years. Sit with that, because of what it quietly tells you about the skin underneath. 2 lice can only hold 2 separate territories if the territories are already separate. Something has to lie between them that neither one can cross. Bare skin does that. A full coat of fur would have let them wander across and blend into one species. They never blended. So 3 million years ago, the fur was already gone. Put the 2 dates on one line, and look at what sits in between. Fur gone, 3 million years ago. Clothes on, 170,000. That is a gap of nearly 3 million years. 3 million years of people with no coat and nothing to put on instead. Think about how many winters that is. So whatever took the fur, it was not clothing. Clothing turned up 3 million years late. It arrived to solve a problem that had already been solved some other way. And there is a second clock, built out of something completely different, that agrees. Shave a patch on a chimpanzee and the skin underneath is pale. Almost pink. It never needed pigment. The fur above it was already stopping the sunlight. Take the fur away and that pale skin is in serious trouble within one afternoon. So the coat and the dark skin are locked together. Lose one and the other must arrive. Which means the genes for skin color carry a timestamp written inside them. Alan Rogers read those genes and found dark skin is at least 1.2 million years old. Lice and pigment. Two methods that share nothing at all. Both land in the same era. The fur was gone long before anything we would call a modern human existed. So why would any animal give up a perfectly good coat? The answer is heat, and it is stranger than it sounds. A furred animal has one real way to cool down. It opens its mouth and pants. Panting is slow, and you cannot pant properly and run hard at the same time. You do it differently. You leak. Between 2 and 5 million sweat glands. More than any other primate alive. Sweat on bare skin turns to vapor, and the vapor carries your heat away with it. Sweat inside thick fur just sits there, soaking, doing nothing at all. The coat and the cooling system cannot both work. One of them had to go. Louis Liebenberg spent years in the Kalahari walking out with sand hunters to watch this work. They picked an antelope at midday, when every other animal had gone to lie in the shade. Then they simply walked after it. For hours. Never sprinting, never stopping. The animal overheated first. It always does. That is the entire strategy. We did not lose the fur to get clever, or to swim, or to get dressed. We lost it to keep walking while everything else lay down. Which explains one last oddity, and it is sitting on your head right now. The hair up there stayed thick. And it stayed exactly where the sun hits hardest. Stand upright and the top of your skull takes more direct sun than any other part of you. So you carry a small patch of shade around with you, everywhere, all day. Everywhere else the dial went down to nothing, and it has stayed there ever since. Except the machinery never got the message. You can still feel it working. Cold air, or a sound behind you, and a tiny muscle pulls at the root of every hair. On a furred animal that lifts the coat and traps warm air. On you it lifts nothing. Your body is still operating a coat it stopped growing 3 million years ago. And in your clothes, if you are unlucky, lives the insect that knows the day you put them on.